Hey Sakar, when's the next Serious Sam Xbox video? I don't know. I'm gonna keep it real with you here, being completely 100% honest. Even I don't necessarily know the answer to that question. In fact, any attempts to ask me when I'm gonna next be recording and uploading a video are when it happens. So I hope that clears that mystery up. This is also probably going to give you a reason as to why I am completely unreliable when it comes to making content, because I get distracted by so many other things way too easily. Also, I had a fun time trying to get progress back up to this map, because I had to play through sewers again, only to find that as soon as I finished the level, it crashed again. And I'm not exactly sure if that's because I'm using Direct3D instead of OpenGL, because OpenGL is garbage, or if it's because I'm playing in full screen, because just from the brief test that I did where I just ghosted through the previous level to get back where I was, I found that just using OpenGL as the basic settings and not having full screen on caused the cutscene to play as intended, and I didn't have a thing to worry about. So I have no clue what's going on in that department. Anyways, we're here in Metropolis now, and that's all that matters. I'm sure by this point in time, pretty much everyone has seen the extent of the Xbox mod, probably if you watched somebody stream it. I think FrameRaider just did like a really long live stream over the whole mod, so you should probably watch that instead of my garbage videos, to be honest. He probably has a better sense of what he's doing. Also, he played in serious difficulty, but because I'm too much of a pansy, I just decided to play in hard difficulty. Yes. Totally because of that reason. Alright. You're just gonna be down there forever. Right. Serious Sam Classic doesn't have pathfinding. What if I should just leave her there? Nah, probably not. We just use the splash damage of the rockets to my advantage. Even though the splash damage itself is fairly pathetic. It doesn't really do a hell of a lot. Oh boy. Let's stop dancing around me, please. I am the one who's supposed to be dancing around you. Don't reverse the roles on me just yet. I do like the added architecture to this place. I like the extra pyramids and the pylons. Even though the pylons don't really make a lot of sense, shouldn't those appear in, like, Theban areas? Because I'm pretty sure we're still in Memphis right now. At least that's what I thought. I saw a tree just disappear in front of me. I must be hallucinating. Let's continue onwards, because this is a very, very long level. And very, very long levels mean very, very long recording sessions. Spawning... I forgot to trigger these enemies entirely. That could possibly be why I'm facing a lot more enemies than I need to at the moment. Thank God for palm trees, because otherwise that would have been a bit of a disaster situation. Oh. There we are. Oh, hey! You just teleported in front of me. Hey. Oh, no! Oh, no, 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 no! No. Okay, it is time for the knife. Knife is the most overpowered weapon in the game. Yes. Clearly I should be using this one. Heh, clearly. Clear skeletons. Yeah, quality commentary. Stop watching this video, please. Like, I hear that some people actually just watch these, well, quote-unquote watch, just so they can have some background noise, and I'm flattered, but you should probably be using a more reliable source for relaxation, rather than my constant sounds of chittering and chattering and occasionally opening and closing my mouth, which you will now be conscious of, and you will not be able to unhear it for the rest of this recording session. I'm very glad that the laser gun bug is not in effect right now, because I can actually use this weapon. Lasers for everyone! Nice. Oh, I forgot that that spawns you. This is a bit of a mess. I wonder if we can get enough enemies on screen to cause the battle music to play. Or the war music, more specifically. Probably not. I don't think there's nearly enough enemies at the moment. Maybe if we were playing at serious difficulty, it would probably activate, but not right now. Unless that's another thing that broke in the Xbox version of the game, but I wouldn't be able to tell. For those who don't know what I'm referring to, if you get enough enemies on screen in a certain stage, and the certain stage in the World Info properties has war music to play, then once there are enough enemies on screen, then it will play that war music, but it very seldomly happens. Because contrary to popular belief, not every battle in Serious Sam is literally millions of enemies in front of you. Although I think that's generally what they're aiming for with Serious Sam 4, so yeah, that's gonna be something. Now watch as it turns out that Serious Sam 4 is actually just Egypt in disguise all along. Like, the background itself is just a bunch of cardboard cutouts, and you look behind it and it's just clear blue sky. And there are pyramids and ancient Egyptian pylons behind it. Oh damn, Crow Team. You got us again. You wacky bastards, you. Egypt was in our hearts all along with all of the sand. Any more takers? No? Doesn't appear to be the case. Right, Metropolis. This level, again, to emphasize, bit of a lengthy one. Goes on for quite a while. And actually kind of impressed that the Xbox version could actually hold all of it. So, we're going to have to make our way through as quickly as possible while simultaneously attempting to spawn as many enemies as possible. Which, in turn, will not make this an incredibly quick playthrough, but we'll do what we can. I do know for a fact that picking this up causes hell. All sorts of hell. We're at this point of the game, well, you could argue any point in the game, prior to this level, where the developers decided, you know what a good enemy is? Clear skeletons. Clear skeletons are great enemies, you can use them pretty much anywhere. And yeah, this level has a huge emphasis on them. You will see why that is if you are unfamiliar with it. But if you are familiar with it, you will know exactly what I'm talking about. Make sure we don't stand in that dude's line of sight for just one more moment. There we go, that should be long enough. Rockets to the rescue. I heard you behind me. Anybody else? Aha. I see a bunch of money, actually. Oh, hey, you're stuck. Cool. I'll deal with you in a moment. I am more interested in this cash money. Actually, you'll probably just end up following me this way. Yeah, just come with me. Come on, I need to go this way regardless. Excellent. Give me all the bullets. And the shotgun shells. Lovely. Let's continue adventuring onwards and look at the graphical artifacts occurring. That's cool. Amazing. Phone booth. Save my game. And with that, enter the next courtyard, where we can fight another bunch of enemies. I hate this room. This place is a mess. It's like pretty much every corridor you run into, there is some sort of trigger there that causes enemies to spawn literally everywhere. So it, kind of contributes to the longevity of this level. It goes on. And so I would argue probably the quickest and most painless solution would be to sort of track all of the corridors that you've previously gone down and make yourself a rather efficient route to each of these little houses, which contains a golden scarab. By the way, there's actually like a trigger right here in this doorway. I'm not entirely sure which specific enemies it spawns, I just know that running pretty much anywhere just causes all sorts of nastiness. Unfortunately, because we are going after as many kills as possible, I am obliged to run through every corridor at least 2 or 3 times until everything has been spawned. Is that something behind me? No, it's something in front of me. Okay, I'm not going insane. It's at this point in time that I'm realizing having proper 3D audio would be somewhat beneficial at the moment. Rawr? Rawr! Roar. Okay. Let's just make circles around this entire place until we've spawned all of the shitlords that we need to spawn. And that's somebody spawning behind me. That's somebody spawning in front of me. Yes, you are appearing from over there. Who else? Who else is there? You. Aha! I have the advantage! You cannot shoot from your tail. In theory, anyway. Actually, it could probably work sort of like Team Fortress 2, where the Heavy and his minigun, the bullets don't actually come from his gun, they come from his mouth. So likewise, you could probably do the same thing with pretty much any enemy in the game that uses bullet-based weaponry. This is a bit of a pickle. I hoped that you wouldn't hit me, but you did. That's another one? Yeah. Give us another one. Can't have too many of these guys. Anybody on the columns? I know that for a fact that there are some that do spawn in those columns, and I think I can cause them to appear by just moving to the right side of this area. First, deal with you. Actually, I might as well just go in here and pick up the scarabs while I'm at it. I'm thinking I'll probably not bother picking up at least one of them, because that will cause something to happen near the exit to this place, and I don't want that to happen right now. Hello, obvious wall that can be broken. With not a shotgun, because all explosive-based weaponry is the only thing that matters. A free serious bomb. I wonder what I could use this on. I don't know. There we go, that's what I was waiting for. I also saw a treasure bag. I want the monies. Give me some monies. Boop. What a shot! Good shot, sir! Good shot! That's not a good sound. Please don't be appearing from the left. Thank you. Okay, I think one of them is actually appearing from the left, but he's stuck. What a saving grace. I prevented myself from being bombed. For today. For now. It's only a matter of time before it does inevitably occur. It is not this time. Boop. I'll just duck in here, grab this. Fire a few rockets off in that direction. I really wish I had a sniper rifle right about now. That would just be the knees of the Bee Gees. There's one more. One more to go, and that last one, I'm not going to pick up immediately. If I don't verbally remind myself of that, I'm going to pick it up immediately, and cause a complete and utter disaster for myself. So excuse me for rambling. But that is exactly why you are here. And if you have wasted your time watching this video for this long, what are you doing? Go do something productive, please, just do it for me. In fact, do it for yourself, more importantly. Just do it for somebody that isn't, well, somebody watching the video. Where are you? Over there, presumably? Yep. Oh, there's more of you? Okay, he just plain ignored me. That was just rude. I thought I was important. I thought I mattered in your life. But evidently, you do not seem to give a rat's arse about me. I'm offended by this. Not good. Keep circle strafing and hope that I don't accidentally run into a skeleton. Don't know where this other guy is. Okay, you're over there. There's a dude up here. You can see how quickly this just becomes a mess. Oh boy. Where are those sounds coming from? Over here. I thought they were appearing from an entirely different direction, and that startled me. We're almost through this, boys. We're getting there. I'd say we're probably about 60% done of this particular area. In terms of the actual level, by the time we finish it, we'll be about 50%, being generous. Okay. Who else? Not you. I'll deal with you momentarily. You are not my priority target. Pistol whip, shotgun. A good strategy to employ against those dastardly fiends. If you have no other weapons that will suffice. But we do have other weapons that will suffice. Double-barrel shotgun is useless, except for these guys. And even then, sometimes not all of the pellets actually hit, which is lovely. That's just what I need. Who was that? Are you still alive? Yeah, you're still alive. Ow, 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 ow. I did not account for the dude on my flank. It was very imprudent of me. I think just running back here will actually cause... No? Maybe a bit further back? Come on. Yeah, there he is. Alright. That's who I was waiting for. Running in here to trigger this guy. Won't pick that up just yet. Keep using reminders. I don't remember that being 100 armor, but that's okay. because I feel as though that's a much greater reward to causing a bunch of skeletons to spawn, instead of a 50 armor power. Grenades are a great weapon. I remember that spawning even more enemies than before, did I? I'm perplexed. It could just be one of those weird enemy spawn changes that they decided to do for the game. Because Xbox just seems to be doing a lot of that. Xbox just seems to be full of a lot of weird changes. Like in the previous level where they removed the necessity to even hit a switch to progress at the very beginning, it's just like, I don't understand. And removing the boulders too, like, why would you remove the boulders? Why would you remove the greatest animated wrestler of all time from my video games about shooting aliens in Egypt? Just why? Why would you do that? I don't understand. I would like answers, but I'm not going to get them anytime soon. Who goes there? Ooh, you happen to be going there. Oh hey, hello. I'll just use a knife. Might as well break this out every now and then. Melee weapons are pretty cool. And I am full on lasers. Should probably be using this weapon a bit more often, but I want to ensure that all the enemies on the premises have been eliminated. Like you! You've not been eliminated, but now you are eliminated. That's a fun word to say. Like I said, just going to be circling through pretty much every corridor until I've spawned just about everything. Aha! A sniper. You would have been more effective if you had a sniper rifle. Actually, I retract that statement. Arachnoids with sniper rifles would be terrifying. In fact, I think that's actually a custom enemy that does exist somewhere in one of the games. Oh my god. That would be the worst. It would just kill you instantly. I mean, have you seen the damage the sniper rifle does? It's terrible. I just wasted that pickup. But that's okay. That is a-okay. Oh, that was a miss. Very low on grenades, too. I never even took notice of this. Alright, by this point in time, I think I've spawned mostly everything, so I'm not going to screw about any longer. I'm gonna grab this. All 4 items collected. And we shall take these scarabs and open that door. By approaching like this, you should be able to cower behind this building, shoot that guy, watch out for that skeleton in the distance because he might catch you off guard. And then you can use pretty much any weapon to just carefully snipe all of these individuals. There are still enemies spawning next to me. I did not account for this. I know that these aren't part of the original spawn. I hope you recognize that fact. And just open that for a minute. I'm gonna go grab this. I remember you. And for some reason that skeleton spawns once you move towards the door. And it can be very easy to miss because then you'll hear an enemy just running around back here and you won't be able to reach him unless you rocket jump outside. Actually, I'm kinda curious. Probably won't even bother quick saving, but I kinda want to see what it looks like on the outside. Oh yeah, I mean, they had a couple of things. You can see the Temple of Ptah. There it is. You can see the Temple of Ptah if you angle your camera in a very specific manner. Pyramid, obelisk, another pyramid. I mean, it's not much, but I do like the added architecture. It just makes the world feel a little bit bigger. Really, that's just something that, you know, the HD versions of the game really should have done, was make the world feel bigger, but I've already had that ramble in another one of the previous sessions, so I'm not going to subject you to it again. Yes, I'm going to introduce my rambling to you. It would be very much obliged to meet you, and just continue talking on, and on, and on, about things that you probably don't give a rat's arse about. Alright. We're in the very long corridor with a bunch of buildings. You're dead, that's good for me. A bunch of buildings which all hide a bunch of enemies behind them. That's a good sound, and the sign in front of me, the sign appears to be telling me, shoot me. All these enemies are just holding up signs indicating that they want to be shot. I mean, how could I not? If it is what they humbly requested, I shall provide it. Have some of these bullets. I certainly don't need them. Because I have grenades. Let's just barrel a bunch of these down the corridor. You're out of the park! Nice. Just keep firing. Keep shooting in this general direction. And as follows, pretty much all the enemies will eventually run in front of your missiles, provided that you strafe in the right direction. Couldn't go for the double kill right there. My nose is itching and that's not convenient. Ooh. I want those. Right now. Gimme. What else can I obtain? More rockets? More fuel? More anything? You! I certainly cannot take you and put you in my pocket, but in any other circumstance, I probably would. I'm gonna grab this now, so that way I can pick up that laser gun ammunition later. Crosshair, work with me here, please. There we go. I want to select this weapon. This seems like a pretty good option for this situation. If you would recount what I was saying earlier, about how the developers certainly had a favoring towards masses of clear skeletons, this is only the tip of the iceberg with this level. Believe me, it's gonna get much worse. Actually, I kind of have to admit, despite some of its shortcomings, I do partially really like this level. It goes on for a little too long, but it's got some good ideas. I kind of like how it varies in the different battles and how running in certain corridors in some places causes different enemies to spawn. It's got a lot of neat concepts in it, is what I'm really driving towards. I feel as though that one thing that Serious Sam levels definitely need is just a general variety in terms of enemy spawning, enemy variety, and ensuring that you don't constantly overwhelm the player. Making sure that some battles are just, you know, a little more simplistic and straightforward, and just keep the corridor shooting elements in while occasionally adding a horde battle in every now and then. But also, at the same time, you must give players a little bit of downtime so that way they don't get tired with the level easily. Serious Sam 3 really tires the player easily. So I'm hoping that that issue can be avoided in the future. Just duck in, I'll just walk around the corridor, like this. Don't think there's anybody over there, but I'm gonna keep walking, just to make sure the area is secure. And it probably is, so I'm going to grab these grenades back here. That's not grenades, that's treasure. I expected there to be grenades, but I guess they moved them back there. That might explain why there were grenades back there. Okay, never mind, I'm no longer confused. I was for a brief moment, but then I saw the light, and everything made sense to me. Oh boy. Don't do that. Okay, almost there. We're gonna make it. We're gonna do this, boys. We're gonna get through it. Oh yes, I also have a backup plan in the more than likely event where my game is going to crash as soon as I complete the level. What I'm probably going to do is just end up ghosting through a bunch of the levels just so I can unlock them already. And then I'll just keep on starting fresh from a new level. So, while I will more than likely miss out on using things like serious bombs and whatnot, I could care less at this point. Really, it's not so much... It is a problem with the mod, but it's not necessarily entirely the mod's fault. Like, what I'm trying to say is, if you're going to try and record this game, it might not like some recording software. It's either that, or it doesn't like using Direct3D and recording software at the same time. I honestly couldn't tell you. As I've stated my contempt for OpenGL, it just causes a lot of weird issues like Z-fighting, so what you'll occasionally see is like buildings in the distance will have really odd texture flickering. That's what Z-fighting is called, and Revolution is rife with that because it only uses OpenGL, but you can fix that issue with a few console commands. I'm not sure if the same thing works with the original version of Serious Sam Classic, so if someone could verify that, that would be very much appreciated. Okay, Pit of Spikes, wearables to activate the Pit of Spikes, and you just decided that you wouldn't even bother falling into the Pit of Spikes. Okay, so they're really supposed to just fall into the Pit of Spikes, at least that one is. And the theme of this is that you have to wait for the bridge to extend so that way you can go over, and the bull's going to get stuck on the other side. And fall down. And you repeat this a couple of times, but I may end up just trying to speed up the process by just occasionally firing a few rockets out there. Look at me. I think there should be just one more around the bend. There we go. Minigun. Nice. Going to have to reserve that backpack for later, because now we have another corridor rush. Weapons are hot! This is also another reason why I really like this level, is because this is a great introduction to the minigun. And in fact, in Serious Sam 3, when you're playing that Karnak level where you also first obtain a non-secret minigun, that's also a really cool section. I have to say, that is another reason why, despite that level's shortcomings in particular, that also holds a special place in my heart. Apart from that, though, you're just mostly fighting giant hordes of Rocketeers, and it's just completely boring. Fortunately, this does come with the added price of spending a lot of minigun ammo in such a very short period of time that there will still be bulls approaching you, and you won't even have any spare bullets until you go back and restore your ammo with that backpack. So this could take just a little bit of precaution. I think that's all of them. Yep, just a couple of bulls left. Fair enough. Grab this. Grab the armor, so we're up to over 100. I couldn't say 200 because it already degenerated by that point in time. Here we go. Oh, they even added spare bullets. Oh, that is really sweet of them. I'm probably going to need those. And considering how we're going after pretty much all of the enemy kills, this area is going to take longer than necessary. Because I think the idea behind it is you're supposed to kind of run back, because this horde of clears is meant to overwhelm you, but sometimes you can complete it without the need to necessarily run back. And unfortunately, that's going to spawn a bunch of enemies that you could otherwise avoid entirely. And it's an incredibly lengthy, drawn-out wave where it's just trickling enemies through, and it's not fun. I think that's what the game really wants me to do, however, because it didn't provide me with nearly enough bullets to deal with this situation. So we're gonna be driven back a little bit. That's gonna make this hard. I guess that's why we're playing hard difficulty, after all. Well, luckily, we have weapons besides the minigun and the laser gun. We have explosives, we have shotgun shells, and we have a knife. Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure the knife is going to be our Lord and Savior under these trying times. Believe me, it's doable. I've done it before. But I have not really played a hell of a lot of Classic in a long time, so who's to say what my success rate is going to be like? I will admit that this grenade launcher is doing some wonders, and I should take this time to appreciate it, because I'm out. There we go. Back to the straight-firing, rocket-propelled missile launcher. Yes, the missiles are propelled by rockets, and those rockets are propelled by missiles. It's symbiotic. It's a very special relationship. I think that's... No? There's another one out there. Okay, just a moment. Here we are. Yeah, so if you get pushed back this far, it spawns all of these power-ups, and if you decide to run back and collect them, I think that should end up spawning again, another giant trickle of clear skeletons that you really shouldn't bother with, and in fact, I'm probably just going to keep running forwards. It might look a little intimidating at first. In fact, they kind of try to prevent you from going forward by just spawning those 2 scorpions, but we have a rocket launcher. We can just fire a few rockets out in that direction. Ignore the fact that we're being pelted with bullets. And if you run forward enough, then it actually just cancels out all the spawns, so it really doesn't matter. That's nice. Here we are. The Temple of Ta, or as Bio likes to put it, the Temple of Pizza. Very lovely place. I cannot wait to investigate the horrors within. But first, we have kamikazes. And this is kind of an interesting fight. The idea behind it is that you just want to stick in the center of the area and use the shotgun. Or, if you have remaining bullets left, then you could probably just stick in the center of the area and use the Tommy gun. Another way you could do it is you could sort of position yourself in between 2 kamikaze spawners and just stand there, so that way the only closest enemies you'll be towards are the ones spawning to the left, right, and yeah, like, to the left and the right of you mainly. Some of the adjacent spawners might also be fairly close to you, but it shouldn't be too much of a thing to worry about. I kind of like to stick in the center like this because I feel as though that this is just a little more interesting. Either way, you could probably get away with doing this either with the shotgun or with the dual Colts. Unfortunately, because I am playing the Steam version of Serious Sam Classic and the crosshair is just a little bit too big, I sometimes end up just missing my shots like there. So I'm just going to use the shotgun instead. There's a bit of a higher chance that I'll at least be able to hit targets with a shotgun. Just a bit of one. One of those cases where having a shotgun with fairly widespread is actually pretty helpful. As is the purpose of the weapon. Extra life. I know, I don't sound quite as enthusiastic for picking up an extra life compared to the announcer lady in Serious Sam 2 and Serious Sam HD. It's the most wonderful sound in the world. Almost there. We're getting there. It takes its sweet time, but believe me, we're almost through with this. And eventually, we'll have another horde to deal with. And that is going to be a treat. Because that horde in particular...
They never learn.
...might just allow me to enable the war music for the level, so let's give it a shot. So this is gonna spawn harpies. First they spawn from the Temple of Ta, then they spawn to the left, then they spawn to the right, and then they start spawning behind you. But if you keep making a wide circle around the arena and try not to let them get too close to you, eventually you'll have yourself a war sequence. It can take some time, should eventually be able to get there. Let's just see if it's still active. I'm really hoping it is. Come on. Please don't hug me. No, I'm pretty certain we've spawned pretty much all of them. I'm not getting any war music at all, so it looks like it was removed entirely. Well, the Xbox mod is officially not as great as I hoped it would be. 0 out of 10. Worst mod ever. God, the grenade launcher. The grenade launcher, dude! It's like, I don't even need to say anything, it's just... This version of the game had the best grenade launcher in existence. They're just all gone. They're all red paste and just a few grenades. We still even have some left. Oh, nice. Just clean up the last couple with a few rockets. That's getting close. Okay. Come here. Nice.
That's right. It's all in the wrist.
Man, that was a real joy kill, though. I was really hoping we'd get the war music. Whatever. This next fight, this is the reason why you'd probably want to have the cannon that we picked up at the beginning of the 3rd Metropolitan Courtyard. That more suburban area where all the rich people live, according to Natrixa. Otherwise, you could pretty much easily just do this using this strategy. Honestly, I wouldn't really recommend using the minigun or the laser gun unless you ran out of explosives. Grenade launcher is also pretty good for spamming if you have enough of those saved. But for the most part, you could just let your circle strafing do the work here. Another way you could do this is just by lining yourself up, generally positioned where all the bulls are going to spawn, and just use the cannon like that. You could just kill all of them in a single shot as soon as they spawn. It's a pretty good trick. But I'm not going to do it that way. There should just be one more horde. And I'm not doing too good on the rocket situation, so I'm going to go against my own advice and actually use the laser gun. Just to spice things up. And yeah, you can see that they spend most of their time just kind of getting stuck on each other, so that is a good way to avoid taking unnecessary damage.
Now that's a lot of bull.
Quite. Indeed. My good sir. Indeed. Hello, this is why I wanted to save my minigun ammo. And after we destroy all those missiles flying towards our face, switch to the grenades, and just fire a few off. It's better if they're more clumped together, them skeletons, because then, sort of like the harpies, you can deal massive damage in a short amount of time. But that is one method you could use. Pretty much anything goes when it comes to this final horde, except for the shotguns. I wouldn't recommend charging all of these foes just using a shotgun. Chances are your success is probably not going to be all that high, unless you are a strafing god. I am not. I usually prefer to reserve my minigun supply for these biomechs in particular, just because it's a quick way of dealing with them. Or again, you could just use the cannon. I mean, the cannon pretty much solves all problems in existence. It's kind of like the BFG, only it's a cannon. And that just makes it better, because it's a cannon. My circular argument is flawless. Multi-kill! Oh, come on, seriously, there's more of you? Alright. Let's just get this over with. I got places to be. When you'll explore the Temple of Pizza. You're gonna hold me back from that pizza. I earned this pizza. I'm out of grenades. That was a good decision to make right there. Oh boy, this is becoming a mess. Okay, time to use the most overpowered weapon in the game. I'm telling you, it always works. It's just the best weapon. Why wouldn't you use the knife? Seriously. Hi! I don't remember you! Okay, it's time to use the cannon. I have an excuse to use the secret weapon. So, that's different. Yeah. You're supposed to fight this enemy in the next level, technically. But it looks like the Xbox version does things somewhat differently, as it usually does. Well, this is kind of interesting, because normally you would just fight that boss with the cannon, because in the next level you do get the cannon as an actual weapon. But here we're somewhat crippled by the fact that we don't have a cannon with a lot of ammo. Just 9 shots at most. So, yeah, I'm not entirely sure how I feel about this. This feels kind of unnecessary, given the fact that we just fighted a massive horde. But Serious Sam has always been known for its difficulty, so whatever. Whatevs. I suppose I could dig it if I must in this circumstance. Luckily, it's not an incredibly difficult boss if you know what you're doing. It's just these guys can definitely trip you up. Oh yeah, this is the music picks up again. I like that. It's like the fight couldn't decide if it was truly over or not. Lava golems. Generally, you just kind of want to stay out of melee range from them. And their projectiles, usually somewhat easy to avoid. The small ones just fire straight towards you, and the bigger ones will try and predict your movement. So, if you're strafing in one direction, as soon as he throws the shot, you just start strafing in the other direction, and you should be fine. There we go. That is the end of Metropolis.
Huh? Uh-oh. Phew. That was fun.
Right. I suppose that gives us a valid reason as to why there was a boss at the end of the previous level. I guess it kinda makes sense in context, because the way they divided these levels up was through episodes, and that first episode was a pretty long episode. Pretty long. I do like that the sign is still here, however. I'm just sad that I cannot destroy it. Not even with the chainsaw. My dreams are dashed. Everything is ruined. And we've lost our cannon. Yeah, we've lost pretty much everything. Because the game crashed, I had to go through the previous level and start fresh once more. I'm beginning to think that pretty much any level that starts or ends with a cutscene is going to be exactly like that, which is gonna make recording a pain in the ass, but I'm just gonna keep doing it. Probably because I love you people a little too much. Oh boy. Not a good sound. I will say that the choice of using this skybox in general for this level is not something I'm fully a fan of, to be honest. Because I kind of like the more orangish reddish sunset. I much more dig that look. Unfortunately, you can only get that if you play from, like, tourist to normal difficulty, I think, in the original game. But it seems as though it's just permanently changed for the Xbox version to use this skybox, which you can only see in hard and serious. That was kind of interesting how some levels in Classic had different skyboxes depending on which difficulty you played on. And I'm wondering if they're ever going to consider bringing it back. I don't know. It's kind of difficult to do now that you have, like, more advanced lighting. So the way HD's levels are set up is that they have, like, pre-baked settings with different lights, so just having a skybox change would not necessarily fit unless it looked like it matched the other lights. It's kind of an odd one. The arrow wants me to pick up this armor, so I'm gonna forget about that topic of discussion and pick up the armor. I will oblige the game and decide I will obey by its dirty tricks. And we'll snipe this guy for a bit. I think I saw some money out here somewhere. I sort of briefly forgot about it, but... Or did I pick it up? I don't know. Well, doesn't really matter. I'm just going out in this direction regardless of that fact. Because I see a palm tree. Chainsaw. And this palm tree has what looks to be a serious bomb. Okay, that could be handy. I don't know if I'm actually going to bother using it, but we'll see. Grab this Let's grab the rockets. And... okay, it seemed a little unceremonious at first, but eventually the game decided it wanted to spawn enemies. Whatever, I'm just gonna use this. I doubt I'm going to find any other circumstance where I'll find it handy. So, there you go. La Bomba. Nothing else. But the music was still playing. It had me on edge. I was a little tense. No matter. Let's just grab this. Watch out for the enemies that spawn behind you. 2 of them, to be precise. A skeleton flanking you to the back left, and a skeleton flanking you to the back right. The rest you should be able to easily clean up with the double-barreled shotgun, or you could probably use a few of your spare rockets if you have any. I'm at about half capacity, and that's pretty good, but I kind of want to hold on to them for now. Unfortunately, this is another one of those levels that has a lengthy trickle of clear skeletons upcoming. And unless they fix that for the Xbox version, which I doubt they did, to be honest, it doesn't seem like the kind of thing they would really pay attention to. It seems as though that some of the spawn changes in general were just somewhat arbitrary. But again, console version, they might have been changing them just to accommodate certain players who would be using a controller, because that's really the only way you could play an Xbox game. At least until eventually they figure out how to properly configure Xbox emulators, and I'm sure eventually this game you could play the original Xbox port on an Xbox emulator. They're making some strides. They'll eventually get there. I have full faith. Because last I checked, they were managing to get some games actually working. With only a couple of odd small graphical bugs here and there. It was probably not a good idea to go grab that right now. In fact, I'm pretty sure I just made things even worse for myself. If that scorpion is actually moving. I hope she isn't. Because this would be a problem. She doesn't appear to be moving, so this is fine by me. I am just actually gonna break out the rocket launcher right now. Might as well. Boop. I don't really have much to say right now. I mean, what else can I really go on? This is Alley of the Sphinxes. This is a very long fight. That's a palm tree. I hate this palm tree in particular. So I'm going to remove this obstacle from my path. And then just keep on using the chainsaw, because that seems to be working fairly well for me. God damn it. Ugh. Oh, for God's sakes. Yeah, you can see what I mean when I don't really like the double-barreled shotgun in Serious. I have a huge love-hate relationship with this weapon. And also, fuck clear skeletons and everything that they stand for. Ugh. No. I really don't want to die right now. I still kind of want to keep the streak of not dying going. And I'm not too enthusiastic about the idea of dying at the moment. So I'm going to bank on the hope that there is a health power-up up ahead. And my eyes do not deceive me. So I'll go obtain that. Also this 5 armor. Should be helpful. Yes, yes! Knock them all away! That's always fun to watch. Never gets old. Nice. One of the few times where the spread was actually beneficial. And I will gladly accept this token of your appreciation for me having made it this far. Thank you, game designers, for that 100 armor power-up. It gave me the boost of energy I needed to cope with the fact that life and existence is pain. But at least we could do away with the pain with just a little bit of armor. Play me off, Sam. What do you see over there?
Look at the size of that thing.
Exactly.
Owned.
A seriously big cannon. Pretty sure that's what the SBC stands for. There we are. Yes, the cannon functions a little bit differently in Serious Sam Classic, where it actually kinda takes skill to use. Because if the cannonballs actually make contact with the ground before they reach their target, they won't deal nearly as much damage compared to cannonballs that are flying through the air. Plus, the cannon still has pretty lengthy charge time. Like, you can't just very easily spam shots. You can hear me maybe spam clicking right there, as I was trying to fire off another one and it wasn't exactly working. Yeah. That's the thing about the original cannon, is that you had to be a little bit careful with the use of your shots. And that was pretty neat. I do kind of miss that. Because the cannon in Serious Sam 2 and Serious Sam HD, and Serious Sam 3, they all pretty much function the exact same way, where you could just keep spamming cannonballs and they deal maximum damage. I don't know what's up with that. It's disco time, apparently. I don't know. I think I'm one of those people where, under these circumstances, a joke is never as funny the second time you hear it. And honestly, this one was only really funny when you first encountered it in Ziggurat, in the second encounter. And just putting it all over the place, I don't know, it just doesn't really have the same vibe. I mean, it does let you hear the disco music, and I'm pretty thankful about that. But that's enough of that shenanigans. Let's just reclaim our rockets. And go pick up Moneybag. Let's see, Moneybag... yeah. Over there. But I think, yeah, I see something out there. Are you trying to be sneaky, video game? You're trying to hide these treasures from me. No. My eagle eyes are quite sharp. I've spotted my prey, and I have seized it by the throat. Oh hey, there's just treasure right there. This game really loves handing out treasure. It kind of detracts from its original value by doing this, I find. Let's just save our game now. Use the glorified quick save button. And we'll go pick this up. I mean, just for completion's sake. I think we'll probably just finish up Alley of the Sphinxes and then call it a session, because my voice is definitely going to need a break. It gives out rather easily, I'll have you know. I've gone for longer recording sessions before, and that's just entirely killed my ability to speak on some occasions. Because I just don't have the properly trained vocal cords for doing very long recording sessions, and because I ramble a lot, yeah, it's kind of a contributing factor. I would not do well as a streamer, and I would certainly not do well as a singer, so don't consider pitching that idea to me. So, this arena, I recall, is just very similar to that Metropolis arena, but it kind of mixes things up a little bit. So you've got kamikazes, you've got skeletons, occasionally they throw a few bowls at you, and it mainly only consists of 2 waves, if I recall. It can go on for a bit of time, but what the game really wants you to do is just use your shotguns. And maybe the rocket launcher. If you ever consider that as an option. So I will keep doing this. That didn't work as well as I thought it would. 1 second. There we go. I will attend to you when all other distractions have been cleared, Mr. Webble. At least, all other nearby distractions, because I find that these guys take higher precedence over you. Okay, I might as well just deal with you now. I guess I'm going in this direction. Okay. I can work with this. I might be in a predicament right now. As long as I just focus on which enemies are most important, and then break out the chainsaw, should be doable. There we go. Circle strafing wins again. Anything else? Oh, you all the way out there. Well, I can easily just snipe you. Should take no time at all. There we are. Anything else? Well, it's taking some time spawning these final few enemies. And there we go. Next wave begin. As soon as you obey the giant pointy arrow that's pointing towards this heartbeat, you want to pick this up. That's going to spawn a bunch of bolts in front of you. Kinda wish I had extra cannonballs for this, but I don't. As soon as you clear out these bowls, it's going to spawn a couple more bowls, and pretty much every bowl you kill will cause even more bowls to spawn. So just keep this one in mind, because this area can get a little bit hectic if you don't know where most of the enemies are going to be spawning. They're mainly spawning from all the corners of the arena, so try to stay away from all the corners and walls of the arena. You should make it alive. You should make it alive out, fine, jest, English, hard. Words. Words fail me. And that's all of them. Hey. Thanks for the slap to the face. That was a good wake-up call. How many more of you are there going to be? Let's just keep this count going. There's another one. Another one. Another one. Another one. And another one. It just doesn't end. Oh my god. Okay, it ends. And with that, we can pick up another cannon. Now we can dual-wield cannons! I wish. That would be amazing. Crotein, please put that in Serious Sam 4. I want to dual-wield cannons, just like in the VR games. Grab all these power-ups. More pills, please. Glorious pills. This. And cutscene. Please tell me what to do. I am at a loss under these circumstances. But if I can trust my intuition, I believe what the game wants me to do is take all these elements that we have acquired in the previous levels and place them on the pedestals in order for magical things to occur. That seems to be the indication, given the placement of these altars. But I suppose, if that isn't necessarily the case, then we can always rely on what Natrixa is telling us. Why don't we, in fact, just see what Sam has to say about the situation?
What the hell was that anyway?
That's not incredibly helpful. I don't think Natrixa really has anything to say. And I think I know why that is, actually. Actually, I'm just gonna check. Let me check something. Oh, hey, she does. It wasn't giving me the notification. Yes, it still says that there's a giant lava golem that will appear as soon as you place all the elements on the altars, and that's just going to bring death and destruction, and you'll die, is what she's trying to say. So, does that mean we'll fight the boss again? I mean, that seems kind of redundant by this point in time. I don't know. I guess we'll find out! That is indeed what the essence of this experience is just finding out all the little changes that have been made. You're not dead. Well, it's okay, I'll just have you follow me around for a little bit. Until all of the biomechs are dead. Will you stop being shielded by your bloody giant biomech best friend? Urgh. So irritating. Corpses that you could shoot were a big thing back in the day, and the fact that even Serious Sam had a bit of that going on is not great. Because sometimes the enemies get blocked behind the corpses, and sometimes you shoot a corpse that's right next to you with an explosive projectile, and that deals massive damage. Never fun. Never a good time for all. And I'm hearing... oh, here he is. Actually don't mind getting a chance to use my pistols every now and then. It's one way to save on ammo, it's another way to just feel the satisfaction of killing things with the pistols, which doesn't happen very often. I have no bullets. No more bullets. Okay, can probably just get away with using rockets and shotgun shells then. We can work the numbers here. We can make this work. I should probably pick up the ammo, actually. Realize this is something I forgot to do entirely, and that's probably why this situation is just a tiny bit perilous. Still no bullets, though. But I do have a few more rockets. Okay, I'm cool with this. Roll with this. Pew, pew. Enemies appearing from the right, no problem. Get caught in the splash damage, please keep doing that. Anything to keep you away from my face is definitely going to be helpful. Actually, do I have any grenades? Oh yeah, I've got a decent amount of grenades. I can use those too. I didn't even realize until now. God, still hearing spawning sounds. Any day now, video game. I'm sure you've spawned quite enough of these enemies already. There we are. Perfect. No? Not all done? Oh, I can fix that in a jiffy! Eat shit. Ugh. I'm just a little bit miffed about that. Just a little. Ooh. Yes, that definitely doesn't ream of suspicion in the slightest. Secret area has been found. What could be back here? An extra life. Okay, well, that's fine. I haven't really needed to use any of these extra lives yet. I haven't found a place where I can pawn them off, but eventually we'll get there. What I do want to be doing right now is using more cannonballs. In a moment. You aren't deserving of the cannonballs. You, on the other hand, I can definitely make a case for you. And you out in the distance. And you. Everyone just line up for shots. You want shots? I can give you shots. The most dangerous drinking game in existence. Or perhaps we could play a little rousing game of minigun Russian roulette. I don't have any ammo for the minigun. Never mind. Guess we're not going to be doing that. The game's playing its cards a little bit differently. In fact, I think they actually changed the ammunition types values for a lot of these ammo backpacks because they used to give you bullets, but I'm not getting any bullets. Okay, I'm glad that that missed because otherwise that could have been a disaster. One more ammo backpack. Let's see. What's in the backpack? No bullets. Whatever. Fine. We'll clear out this final wave. Run through the doors. Or we'll find another boss. I don't know just yet. No lasers even. I'm feeling awfully deprived of the fact that I don't have any automatic weapons to work with. Such a shame, too. I wanted to give those weapons a bit more love. But at the same time, I have a cannon, and that's making me quite happy as is. Nope! Okay. Desperate situation. Don't have any bombs. I was like, wait a minute, I could just use my Cirrus bomb to clear out the rest of the damage. Wait. And then suddenly realization hit me. Everything's not okay. We're horrible. In fact, I don't even know why I'm bothering just using the shotgun like this. I don't know, it's kind of fun playing like this sometimes. There we are. It seems to be everything. I'm still hearing the music playing. Still hearing the music playing. And it's fading out. I guess we're not fighting a boss then. Yeah, so they did move the lava golem boss from this level to the previous level, just so that way they could have a boss at the end of the episode. Which, I guess that kind of makes sense, but at the same time, it seems like a really weird change to me. Especially, again, because you'd be overwhelmed by the end of that previous arena, having fought, like, 4 giant waves, so I just don't get it. What ifs. Let's leave this place.